Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Irv Homer Show, broadcasting from irvhomer.com. And today is Friday, 8/28/08. This is the beginning of Labor Day weekend. And if you're out driving and you're on your way to have a party or something, it's the last big hurrah. Just stay away from Ocean City. I understand they've got more needles coming up on the beach. It's always something, isn't it, folks? Well, anyway, we broadcast from the irvhomer.com. And this program is growing by leaps and bounds. Thank you for all the email. Thank you for all the telephone calls. And thank you for making this a success, even though it's in its infancy. And after Labor Day, we'll become more professional. Now, I don't want it to be too professional because we don't want to be the same as other programs, because the other programs are really boring, aren't they, gang? You got to admit they're really boring. This lovely lady sitting next to me, I'll introduce to some of you who have never seen her, but for those of you who have, you know who she is. If you want to contact me and check out my background as a broadcaster, you can go to my website at www.irvhomer.com. And if you want to email me, you can email me at evilerv@irvhomer.com. Once again, the website is www.irvhomer.com. Email is evilerv@irvhomer.com. And once again, this program is brought to you with the technical skills of RGH Computer Services for all your computer problems. If you want to buy a new computer, if the kids are going to school, they need a computer, if you have trouble with your computer, RGH Computer Services are well qualified in the field of computer programming and computer servicing and websites for some 15 years now. Their telephone number, if you'd like to contact them, is 215-322-8685. 215-322-8685. And I was going to keep this a little private, but I may as well let it be known now that remember I said that we're not catering to sponsorship, but the response has been from sponsors of the Irv Homer Show from WWDB Radio and Channel 6 Television that we will be taking sponsors. That means that we will probably extend the program to 2 hours or maybe 5 nights a week. I don't know. I decided to retire, but it seems that I'm being forced by certain individuals, namely, well, we'll introduce them at a later time. So there's a lot of things in the future on the Irv Homer Show. I know that we just had a big day today with the announcement of a vice presidential candidate on the Republican Party, but we'll let that hang in abeyance because today I just want to make it light and introduce a dear friend for many, many years in the broadcasting business, someone that is known nationally throughout the country, and a very dear friend and broadcast associate of mine, and that is Valerie Morrison. And Valerie, good to see you. See, you can't do that on regular television. You can't do it, but we can do it because this is our own program. How are you, Val?
Oh, fine. I can't believe it. Well, we see each other at the Broadcast Pioneers. We
Right.
see
Well,
each
don't
other
promote
here.
them because
We
they
see
don't
each other
promote us.
Okay.
We only
But the
promote
thing-
people on the show that
It's
promote
about
us.
time, everybody wants you back. Everyone wants you back, and I can understand why. Not only are you more intelligent than Bo and the rest of them, I mean,
God bless you. You
oh,
wrote it.
well,
You,
it's
you
the
read it just
truth.
like I wrote it.
Did you
Yeah.
really write that? Did you? Oh, that's so great. But you're better than them, Bo. You're better than the rest of them that are on the air. And it's about. I want you. I want you back. Everybody that talks to me wants you back. Everybody's tuning in today, so I'm really glad about that. And all of our friends are out there saying, Irv Homer's back. Irv Homer's back. Yeah, we saw Irv Homer, and I'm saying, yeah, and I'm on with Irv too.
Well, see, you're a world famous psychic, and I'll introduce your credentials in just a moment. But I made an offer on the last program to any commercial radio station. I'm serious as a heart attack.
Okay.
That I will work for them for 1 year, but I must be up against Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, wow.
And if I don't beat his ratings over the period of 1 year, I will work for nothing. However, if I do beat him over the period of a year, they owe me $5 million.
Well, I guess.
So there is an offer to any commercial radio station or television station. Can you beat that? Now
I'll
you're the
give
psychic, and you'll tell me off the air whether or not I'm going to get any takers.
I was just going to say they better start counting their money.
Let me introduce Valerie Morrison, folks. To those
Hi
of you
there.
who are not familiar with Valerie, Valerie has been professionally a world-recognized psychic for some 30 years. She's been in radio and television for 30 years. She's been on television programs, syndicated television programs, and continues to be on them. On the Sally Jesse Raphael Show, Maury Povich, Richard Bay, guest appearances all over the place. And you've seen Valerie on Channel 10, Channel 6, Channel 3. You've seen her being interviewed by police departments around the country. And she is still on radio. Let me remind you, she is still on commercial radio on radio station WNWR. That's the last Thursday of each month. They're 1540 a.m. And that's from 12 to 1 p.m. So that's WNWR. She takes phone calls. That's the last Thursday of each month, 1540 a.m., 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. And she's on WVFT at 92.1 FM from 7 to 8 p.m. the first Monday of each month. And we'll give you these locations during the program. And of course, if you want to contact Valerie, she is located in Roxborough on Green Lane in the Philadelphia area. It's right up the hill. That's I say when people say, "Where does Valerie?" She lives
San
up
Francisco
the hill.
Hill, right?
Up the hill. Her phone number is 215-483-8881. 215-483-8881. And her website is www.valeriemorrison.com. And we'll give you this information, and it'll probably be on the television screen during the program. But let me, we requested emails of questions for Valerie for the program. Valerie, we're going to have to be here till Monday to go through all these emails and requests. We will take some of your questions on our chat room, so we'll try to limit the interview as fast as possible. But I wanted to let you know that Valerie Morrison has a PhD in psychology from St. Joseph's University, so you can refer to her as Dr. Morrison if you want to, or
but don't do
Dr.
that.
Valerie, or Hi Doc, or whatever you want to do. Just don't dock my pay. So,
Right.
Valerie, it's good to be together once again.
Oh my gosh, it is. And I want all of you to know that I'm so happy to be here. I know I'll be here more often because Herb always used to say to me, "Well, if I decide to go back, I'm taking you with me." And then, of course, he said, "Who do you think I'd be taking with me if I went back?" And I said, "Me." So I do want to tell you, we did get so many emails that I brought half of them with me. I couldn't bring them all. I don't even know if we'll get them all done today. But the next time we're on Irv's show, just rest assured you're going to tune in because we're going to bring those emails back again to make sure that we answer everything we can for you. Because at home, you know how busy I am. We work Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And then, of course, we're off on weekends to run around and entertain the troops and so on and so forth. And but I'm here for you, and as Irv said, you can get an appointment with me. If for some reason you're incapacitated, living at a distance, as to this young lady that wrote to us from Arizona that is now living here, you may get a phone consultation with me by just going to www.valeriemorrison.com, and you can see everything about me, including Herb, of course.
Unless she gives us an invitation to come out to Arizona and we can spend a week out at her house as her guest.
Well, you're going to be very excited to know that this young lady came to my office to see me. And I want to say hi to her because I love her very much. Hi, Heather. And Heather met a young man who is a writer, a very, very good writer. And he writes a lot of books, and I gave him an idea for a children's book that I always thought if I could write that book, it would be great for children. And I gave it to Chris because I've seen Chris several times, and turned around that Chris said, "Guess what book I'm up to next," when he came to see me last. And I said, "I know what it is." And I don't want to give the name out, but it is coming out, and I'm sure he will give, he promised that he would give the book references to in memory of my daughter, Valerie Morrison, which was really great because it is a children's book. Heather happened to come to the office one day when Chris was there. And as you can see, lo and behold, they're together. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, we've even had weddings from our place. So it's the one place to meet.
This is yet to the official matchmaker. What can I tell you? The one question, ladies and gentlemen, that we will not entertain, and it's been a practice for many, many years, is questions dealing with health.
Right.
So if there's any health questions at all, you'll please forgive us, but we will not answer any, or Valerie, not me.
No.
Valerie will not answer any questions pertaining to health. Yeah, Ron.
Yeah. When I'm taking questions from the chat room, what information do you need from them?
All I need actually is I'd like to have. No, I'm not worried about date of birth. I do like the signs, and I'm not an astrologer. Never say I am. Never say I could be. But it takes too long. You remember Eugene Moore?
Yes,
Takes
sure.
forever. We used to have
Well,
him on the
Eugene
air all
Moore,
the
I
time.
remember, but Eugene Moore was
The
a
astrologer.
astrologer
The
who
best.
sometimes shared the microphone on
With
the Irv
us.
Homer show with Valerie, and he was an astrologer, but Valerie is a psychic and is also a registered nurse
Right.
who took care of a
Jefferson University.
who
Yeah.
took care of a very dear friend of ours
Yes,
who
I
had
do.
6 bullet holes in him, I think.
Yes, you remember
Yes.
that. Oh,
And
yes.
as he went under, Valerie said, "Big Mike, what can I do for you?" And Big Mike, in his bellicose voice, said, "Well, listen, kid, do the best you can." I mean, the guy was looking like a flute if you put the fingers over the holes where the bullets were. How the hell he ever survived from that, I don't know. But he
I
did.
don't know, but he did. And don't you remember the other one? I took care of a very big one. I don't want to mention, but I will mention his friend Lillian Reese. Do you remember that one?
Do
and
I
said to
remember
him,
the dance of the 7 Veils? Are you kidding?
and I said to him,
Anything scurrilous in the city of Philadelphia,
I'll
I'm
let you
familiar
call
with.
your son anytime you want to. Where's the money? I never found out where the money was.
We'll
Irv.
tell you many of these stories in Valerie's future. We also want to alert you to the fact we have some great guests lined up. People behind the scenes who have sent me emails and contacted me. People who are high up in education in the Philadelphia area that's going to tell you things about education today in the schools. And we read today in the paper about violence in the schools. You don't know half of what's going on, but we'll have him on. We're going to have many organizations on, the Rotary Club and various and sundry foundations and points of interest, consumer advocates, people that you don't see on the front pages of the paper, but they're behind the scenes, Valerie, working their little
Yes,
buns
they
off,
are. Yes, they are.
doing you a public service. So we're going to get into all of those areas. Valerie, when did you first start feeling that you had this ability to communicate with people and get real close? I mean, the first time you meet Valerie, you feel like you know Valerie from the next door neighbor.
I hope so. I kind of feel when I was 5 years old was when my grandfather was the great psychic. I told you that.
Yeah.
You know, Jewish from Hungary, you know, and Hungarian, you come over here, you become a miner. But he did become a miner, had all the psychic ability. I lived with him most of the time because my real father died when I was a year and a half. And so I listened to what he said, thought he was a little crazy, ladies and gentlemen, actually. But I've started picking up things, and they were spirits, you know, people who walked and talked, and me. And I used to tell my grandfather, you know, my aunt was dead one time. I remember saying that when I was about 8 years old, and he said, "No, she's not. I just spoke to her. She's fine." And I said, "No, she's dead. She's dead." And sure enough, in the morning, 34 years old, she was dead. So from then on, I thought they were my playmates. Spirits became the fact that, you know, lots of people ask me, do suicides go to heaven? And I said, of course they go to heaven. You know, I mean, I want people to realize that, you know, people like Bundy, I don't think he goes to heaven. I don't know where he goes. But I'm saying, you know, massive killers out there, rapists, things like that, they have a special place in hell because they can never accept people in heaven. But I feel that people that pass away are with me and are lucky enough when people come to see me, a husband and a wife over their son or daughter or whatever, they come through. And I've been able to do that ever since I was a kid, and I just love the fact that that's not the only thing I do. I can tell you about your love life, if your husband's cheating on you, which I will do. So don't ask me that question unless you want to know the honest, and don't send your husband and I tell the husband, don't send your wife because I'll forget what I said to her, and then I'll just come out and say something.
Well,
Most of my lawyers know that one.
Let's go into other areas of what we dealt with, and that is, Valerie, are there good witches and bad witches?
I believe a witch is a witch. I don't
Okay.
believe that there's good or bad in witchcraft. I know a lot of people would like to say that there is, and I believe that if you go over the line of whatever religion you are, ladies and gentlemen, you know, and I'm very spiritual. I embrace all religions, of course, and I believe that, you know, there is no such thing. If you want to go towards the witchcraft, you're really delving over the line to the dark shadows. And what you see is going to be called the shadow people. And my manager, Frank D'Angelo, knows all about the shadow people. And they're not anyone you want to fool with. I've had a few experiences with them. I recently did a haunting in the area not far here from you, but I can't say where it was. And it came out to be so perfect. I mean, it's a wonderful thing to get rid of the bad spirit, but remember to keep the good ones close. That's what you have to know. But witchcraft
Well,
is
I do
witchcraft.
keep spirits close to me. I keep the vodka spirits close to me. I
Yep.
keep the Scotch spirits close to me.
You and your vodka. How can I ever forget that?
Well,
Please.
it's good. The police can't smell it. Valerie, one other question, and then we'll take some
Sure,
of our
sure.
listeners who are sending in like mad. And you had alluded to the fact, and I recall a couple of haunted houses, especially Bucks County, for some reason or other, has a proliferation of haunted houses
Exactly.
in which there are ghosts and one in particular was a restaurant, well-known restaurant,
Oh, yes.
up in upper Bucks County, and I said, "Oh, that's a bunch of hooey," and we went there for dinner, and things happened in that restaurant, and the waitress and they just thought it was nothing. It was an old. What do they call them? Post stops when the stagecoach used to
Absolutely.
go through Bucks County or
Absolutely.
something. And I came back and I told you about it, and you went through your files, and you said, "Well, I recall in the bedroom upstairs or something," and there was a thing. And I said, "Well, I was sitting in the restaurant downstairs, and the bedroom was exactly upstairs over where we were having dinner. There were 6 of us having dinner." And I said, "What kind of people are upstairs? What do you rent this place out to a bunch of bowling alleys or something?" And they said, "No, the upstairs is empty." And I said, "Well, if it's empty, what am I hearing?"
Mm-hmm.
And they said, "Spirits." Okay. I said that, and I was pretty well spirited up at the time. And then when Valerie came on the next time, I asked you about it. He said, "Oh yeah, I know that place." And you went into the whole background of this restaurant, hotel, stagecoach stop. And I said, "Oh my God, I'm staying away from that." So Valerie has handled a complete plethora. I like that word, plethora.
Thank you.
Of yes, God bless you. And well versed in it. For those of you who are not familiar with Valerie Morrison, one of the things that is always fascinating was with some folks last night at dinner, and of course there are the open-minded skeptics that say, "Well, there's no such thing as psychics." The other one says, "Well, I'm the open-minded skeptic," and the other one says, "I totally believe in it." I said, "Good." I said, "Well, I will pose the question to Valerie. Valerie, when you run into somebody who says, 'I don't believe in it,' what is your response?" Because I
Actually,
think at one time you said, "Everybody actually has a psychic ability," and I said, "Really?"
yes, I believe everyone has an intuitive ability to feel and see things, and especially children. Children are very open to it. And when I run into someone who will say to me, "Well, I don't know, I'm a skeptic," especially if I run into them at a restaurant with their wife and I tell them everything just like that, and
That's why we never went out with you.
yeah, you have so, and I go up to people, and when they're a skeptic, the husband starts to look at me with, I may say something as to someone close to you was a police officer, wore a uniform of some type, or knew a lot of police, and his name was so and so, and or the initials started with so and they're no. I'll tell you, I just stopped yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, to get my lottery tickets. So don't go asking me those numbers. I don't know how to do them. But at any rate, I stopped and a man walked over to me and he said to me, "Valerie, we met at so and so. And I'm a skeptic. But you told my wife things, and I want to tell you every single one of them came true. Our daughter moved closer to us. She has a baby now. We're able to see more of her." I didn't remember it, of course. You know how I get. I don't remember the things. But I said, "Thank you very much." He said, "I love you, Valerie Morrison. And I want you all to know out there that when you're in my office and you're having a good time or a bad time with your life, I'm going to say to you, give me a hug before you leave. And whether it's a woman or a man, either I say it first or you're on your way to hug me." But I think that's the beautiful part, is that I love each of you, and I think that's part of what I do. Or you know that better than anyone else. If I don't have love, then I have nothing.
And I will leave that alone. Valerie's phone number, if you want to contact her in Philadelphia, in Roxborough, on Green Lane, her telephone number is 215-483-8881. It's about 17 minutes after 6 at Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Valerie Morrison is with us. It's 8:28:08 Friday, 8:28:08. And Valerie will want to take some phone calls or some inquiries from so many people that have sent you email and are on the chat room, etc., and so forth and so on.
Yes, I would like to do that. First of all, I would like to say to Heather, thank you,
Now,
and it's nice of you to come
why
back.
are you upstaging me?
Oh, what
She's
did I
been-
do?
Folks,
Again.
she's been doing this all my broadcast career. Suddenly I say to myself, when did I lose control of this
I didn't hear the
program?
word yenta yet.
Well, see, that the Yenta will not be quiet. What can I tell you, folks? It's an old Chinese expression.
Oh, Frank will tell
Well,
you
let's
that.
go to the
Shut up.
chat room, Valerie. What is that first one?
All right, well-
Jods? I can't see that. The name of the. I was wondering if I would get one soon.
Well, let's bring that.
Yeah, but
Let's
can you
see
bring
that
that
a little
down a
bit.
little
Bring
bit?
that
Because-
down a little bit. And somebody's
I'll tell you.
being
Alright.
nice enough to put in their signs, which is great. Look, an old Santa. My mom is a long-time listener of Irv. Did you see that?
Yeah,
I told you.
Well, let's go to this until we get that straightened out.
And this is my family. Look, calling all the way from near West Virginia. Hi, Mommy and Irv. Again, they're watching us. Mom, we wish you and Daddy a very happy anniversary, which is today. Love you.
Well, we love you too. It is your
Love
anniversary
you, Ray.
today,
Love you,
isn't it?
Mom. Yes, it is.
Incredible. All right. Let me see. We have a email
You know
that came
that,
to
right?
Val. See, there she goes. She never shuts up. Dear Valerie, and this is from Chris from Pennsylvania, Valerie. I'm applying for various jobs and was wondering if I will get a new job anytime soon. I was wondering if it is also time to give up on the guy that I'm interested in dating, or will he come around? So there are really two questions here. Number one, will this Chris be getting a new job soon? And number two, is it time to give up on the guy that she's interested in
Stop
dating?
saying it twice. I understood it.
Well, I was speaking English this time, not Hungarian.
I know. You said it the first time.
Well,
All right, number one, we're going to make this very fast for everyone because we want to get everyone in that we can. The various jobs that you're applying for, there is a new job coming in, but it won't happen until around September the 27th to October the 15th. So that's a good one for you. So you've probably applied for about three at least. One of the three will come through. As far as the guy is concerned, do I take a breath? But as far as the guy is concerned, you should know by now the answer you're giving me. Give up. It's time for you to get over it, let go, and just let him. He doesn't give you back what you're giving him, so that's the end of that one.
All right, let's go to the chat room. Questions for the Irv Homer Show, August the 29th, 2008. Hi, please tell Valerie that Heather from Arizona is listening. Hi, Heather in Arizona. Wave that. I moved back to Pennsylvania 4 weeks ago and still seeing Chris, who I met in your office. My mom is here too. I'll be coming to see you soon.
Hi,
That's a little
Mom. Hi,
message.
Heather. Hi, Chris.
And-
And I want you to know that everything is going to be fine. You keep going with Chris, as I told you. I want him to go with you. Go slowly and tell him I said his book will be highly successful.
Valerie Morrison is with us, and we're broadcasting from IrvHomer.com. Let's take an email that we received. Hi, Val. This is Mimi W. Just wondering how much longer before I get my granddaughter, or if I'm going to get custody at all. Thanks, Mimi from Eagle Lake, Florida. How is Charles? I think of you often. Blessings, Mimi. So this comes from Eagle Lake, Florida, ladies and gentlemen.
Charles
Valerie?
is doing fine, and he's watching us tonight. And the other thing is that as far as the granddaughter, you will get the granddaughter. You keep fighting for that. Understand that this may take a few more months, but it's not going to take years. So, Mimi, I love you, and you know my private email address. You know, give us a write to the www.valeriemorrison.com, and Frank will give it to me, and I'll write back to you. But the granddaughter will be coming in very soon, sooner than you think. Keep fighting and don't give up. And remember what I always say: pray, believe, ask, and receive.
We need your name, but this is a Sagittarian, Valerie. Will the
Okay.
estrangement of my family ever be healed? That is our next question from the chat room.
If there's a brother included in that in some way, and I'm seeing a male figure, I would have to say that I don't see a healing coming through. I do feel a passing of somebody that was close to you, such as someone passing over, and this created some kind of an upsetment, and the person who passed over is very upset about it too. I just feel that this male figure around someone, and it could be an in-law or something like that, is not going to be giving in at this particular point, nor will they around the Thanksgiving. You have a better chance around New Year's with that.
All right, this next one is from an email, Valerie. And the email is from Jessica. We won't mention any last names, of course. And this question is, Jessica, will I ever find that special man And we don't know what kind of special man Jessica is looking for.
Well,
but maybe
Jessica,
you know,
the special man that comes into your life has to be somebody less than the ones you've been picking because you keep picking the losers. You can't take a wind up doll and let it go after you heal it, and that's exactly what's happening. You heal, you should have been a nurse. They keep walking away from you. So the main thing is pick somebody who's a lot kinder, a lot nicer, and go slowly. You don't jump into bed the first month, okay? Remember that one. And if he's willing to do that, then you got a problem there right away. And if you're willing, you got a problem right away. Let him wait for a little while. I'd say a guy should wait about 3 to 6 months to know whether he's going to go to bed with you. And he'll respect you more for that. The real one is coming up for you as you get into '09 around the March period.
Valerie Morrison is our special guest. Valerie Morrison, for those of you who don't know her, is a world famous psychic now. And she speaks English but has an interpreter from time to time. Broadcasting from irvhomer.com is where we are. Brought to you through the technical skills of RGH Computer Services for all your computer needs, websites, computer advice. Computer is not working properly, maybe something maybe minor, something major, whatever it may be. RGH Computer Services can handle that, and their number is 215-322-8685. 215-322-8685. And of course, if you wish to advertise on the Irv Homer Show, there are heavy restrictions to advertise on this program. All sponsors are checked out without reservation because commercial radio and television, you have a difficult time turning down an advertiser because they owned by the airways are owned by the people. We own this program, the Irv Homer Show, and RGH owns this program, so we can be very selective as to who we take. So I guarantee you that any sponsor that you will hear on the Irv Homer Show with guests like Valerie Morrison will be responsible people in business providing services or goods. Valerie Morrison, once again, can be reached in Roxborough at 215-483-8881. Now, Val, this I don't think is necessarily a medical question from the chat room.
No, we can skip that one and go to the next one.
You want to skip that
Yes.
one with the cancer there? Okay.
Let's go to the cancer.
Okay.
I think they are cancer.
Yeah, that's not cancer disease. They're cancer sign, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, put the name down and the astrological sign, Ron. My husband passed away of a sudden heart attack at age 31. Can you feel or see him?
I certainly can feel him and I certainly can see him. I'm getting an initial R or a D around him now. This may mean something, it may not. You may let me know. Sometimes my D's become a B, so bear with me on that. I do know that he loved you very, very much, and he said to tell you that when he left, it was so unexpected for him because he did not have any signs of this. But he said that he left with a grandfather or father figure, and that figure is taking care of him. He said to tell you that if you're looking for something like a pair of glasses or something that you waylaid, you know, you'll find them, he'll play tricks on you, and then you'll go back and say, well, I didn't put these here, but he is there for you. Also, he said something about not finishing up a job he completed at the home. I don't know what that means, whether he was going to build something or whatever, but he's saying that something was incomplete, and to tell you that at night he strokes your hair. Don't think you have a bug in your hair where you feel it. He is stroking your hair, and he loves you, and he's in a beautiful place.
Valerie Morrison is with us on the Irv Homer Show here, and we're broadcasting from the irvhomer.com facilities, courtesy of RGH Computer Services. Their number is 215-322-8685. Let's go to an email that Valerie received and see where this is from. All right, this is from Penland, Pennsylvania, Valerie.
Okay.
And the name is Krista. And Krista says, recently lost an immediate family member in a tragic, unexpected way with whom I am very close to. Do they have any messages? And do you have any advice for me on this situation?
I keep feeling two figures around you. I have to be honest. I'm getting a male figure and a female figure. And I feel that both of them were tragic. The only thing is one was sick much longer than the other one went over to the other side. So they're both together. And I don't know, one looks like a mother, grandmother figure, and the other one looks like a much younger figure than that, which is a male. And the thing that I'm getting about them is that the tragedy of this was something that could have been stopped. It should not have happened. So I feel somehow some kind of a fear or a fear feeling that you're getting from them, but I didn't think they had time for fear when this happened. But know that they are beside you. It's something about blue. I'm seeing a lot of color in a blue jacket. The blue jacket may have the writing of gold or some writing on it, and perhaps you can let us know when you email us. I don't know what that means, but I could tell you that they're fine, and I'm so sorry. I've lost my daughter, as you know, and I know what it's like to lose it, and I just say God bless you, wish you the best of all.
Now you must remember that Valerie Morrison has gone through some personal tragedy of her own, the loss of her daughter. Unfortunately, her husband is not well, but for some reason or other, she manages to carry on in the tradition that she is. I suppose it's because of her background, her education, her background in dealing with people over the years. So you're a real trooper, girl, let me tell you.
Thank you.
Well, one other thing I want to add to you, and that is that Valerie Morrison had, in her career, has done a tremendous amount of charitable work, dealing with children, dealing with the Sunshine Foundation, dealing with any time there is a moment of her spare time when she can make it, she's there helping raise funds, helping to provide some type of service to many charities that are too numerous to mention right now. But if you contact her website at www.valeriemorrison.com, you can see the background of this lady who is sitting next to me. So she does a tremendous amount of work, charitable work, that she receives recognition for, but I think we should give her the recognition right now. So, Valerie, you never turned the Sunshine Foundation down, and we're greatly appreciative of that, of course. Well, Valerie, let's go to the chat room, and this is from an Aquarius who says, I've been seeing a man who was a friend of mine. Where do you see this going? Now, does that mean that she's not a friend, he's not a friend now? Well, you're going to have to interpret that.
I think that what she's saying is that she would like him to. She would like the friendship they had, but it has turned. There's an old saying that love is only a friendship that caught fire, and I think
repeat that again.
Love is a love is a friendship that caught fire,
okay.
Meaning they fell in love. Now I think she fell in love with him. He's not really giving it back the way that he should, and she's wondering if it is going to go anywhere. I would keep it at the friendship stage and let him make the decisions, which you should know by December.
Okay. Ron, you can move those questions up now because we're.
Pardon me.
How you can do that, I don't know how you do that, but in the meantime, we'll go to an email of which Valerie received a gazillion of them before she walked in. We may have to go, Valerie, till Labor Day.
Fine with me.
All right, Valerie, my name is Sue G, 619. I met you a few weeks ago at your home and enjoyed spending that time with you. I just have one question. I have a friend who I probably feel very deeply for, but we live some distance apart, and so far things have not worked out to our advantage. Do you see any reason to pursue this?
I really don't, and I'm not saying it's distance. I have a lot of people say, take Heather, for instance, Arizona and Philadelphia, and they're together. So the thing of it is that I have no qualms about the being at the distance, but I just feel as though this person is just not what you think that this person is. So my feelings would be look for something closer to home for you, because it is there. Unfortunately, it doesn't come in until you get into the spring of next year. So, just kind of relax, let it go, see where it is as a friendship.
All right, let's go to the chat room, Valerie. It says,
Okay.
Hi, Valerie. I'm a Scorpio, and I've been applying to new jobs. I was wondering if I would get one soon, and if you see me getting back together with a friend of mine soon, or should I give up? So there are two questions there, one about a job and one about a friend.
Leave the friend go. My feelings are that friend betrayed you. Why would you want to get back with somebody who betrayed you? Because my feelings are, even if it were a guy and you would ask me about what he did to you, I would say, once a cheater, always a cheater. Sometimes a man can change through love, and sometimes a friend can change through being really sorry. I doubt it in this course. As far as the job is concerned, I feel that I do see you getting one within a 6-week period.
Now let me ask you a question, Valerie. We're going through this. We'll just take a break a minute and deal with some generalities. Does Bill Clinton love Hillary Clinton?
Should I say to you that I was kissed by him at the White House? I was,
Well, as far as if it only went that far, we won't I asked you a question. Never mind about being kissed by Bill Clinton at the White House.
Since he
The question is this, Valerie.
does he love her?
Both Hillary appeared on national television promoting Barack Obama, and Bill Clinton did. And it looked like Bill Clinton was promoting Hillary, and Hillary was, and there's Chelsea, turned out to be a gorgeous-looking child.
Isn't she gorgeous?
And a brilliant kid. So the question is, does she really love? Did she forgive him? And does he really love her? And are they going to make hanky-panky in the future or what?
Look, they're
and
not.
Can he be trusted?
Because
you said once a cheater, always a cheater.
Well, no, I know Bill, and I know what Bill's like.
Did he ever make a move on you?
Of course.
Oh, my God. Wait a minute, folks. This is where Bill Clinton made a hit on you?
Yes, and there were about
my God.
Let me tell you, 7 Secret Servicemen turned their backs very fast. Let's put it that way. And I will say something about Bill Clinton. I like him. And I really feel as though when you look into those eyes, it's just what the girl that went with him for 12 years said, Jennifer Flowers. Your life is never the same. There's weakness in the knees, let me tell you. I do not believe that that Hillary and he have a relationship that is a love relationship. I feel that it is political. They had a child together. I believe that they once were involved in a deep sexual affair in the beginning. I believe that kind of went out of the way. I believe to this day, and this is me saying it, not anyone else, and I'm saying I believe. I can't say this is true. I'm already on an FBI dossier, but that he definitely loved Jennifer Flowers, and she definitely loved Vince Foster. But then that could be a whole other thing we could go through, couldn't it? So I believe their friendship is a very deep friendship.
We're going to have to do a program like
yes, we really should.
Double X's in the front of it before the program goes on.
Yes.
Right. Valerie Morrison is our guest, ladies and gentlemen. We're breaking some new ground here.
We're getting into my political men, right?
Now, on the Republican side, see, we can't only pick on the Democrats. We're an equal opportunity offender on this program.
Let me tell you something.
Now, let me ask you a question.
All right, go ahead.
The vice presidential candidate on the Republican side was just selected.
I know.
Right?
I could read your mind. I
know that. And she's a younger chickie boom boom than John McCain, right?
Yes.
Is that dangerous?
No, she's brilliant. She's a very brilliant girl, and there's no doubt he was very smart in picking a woman. And this is a woman in Alaska, very close to Russia, as you know.
But is he going to put a hit on her?
I feel that...
Is McCain a sex symbol or just a nice old guy?
No. I just think he's a really nice guy. Look, I don't like what he did to his first wife. I don't think anyone does. But the thing of it is that I feel everyone has a right to change. As I said, even some cheaters can change. But, my feeling would be about him that he's trying to be sincere. Look what happened to him. He wouldn't even leave his men when he had every chance in the war. He stayed, was tortured, and made sure they ate. So I have a lot of respect for McCain, and I will not say who will win anything, but I'll tell you he's got a sure chance of getting it now, because I think this girl is all for getting us gas prices down and everything else, and she speaks very well. She's very educated, and I like the point that he was smart enough to pick a woman. He couldn't get Hillary, so he took a woman that no one expected.
Today is the 28th of August, right?
Right.
The election is in November.
Right.
At what point in our future on this program will you be predicting who the winner will be?
I would say at the later point of October.
Okay, mark that down, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Later point of October. Okay, let's go to, hello, Valerie. Valerie is a Libra. My question is, will I start a new accounting job by the end of this year for a company and supervisor that will be a great match for me?
Whoa, will you ever? And let me say, when you say a great match for you as far as the work situation, the job will be fine, finances will be fine, anemones there will be fine for you. But boy, you're going to have a tough boss. And so just grit your teeth and bear it, and know that it will get easier as time goes by.
And an email for Valerie. I have to put the specs on. And this is from Kira. My name is Kira. I live in Norristown. My birthday is 9/9/96. I would like to know what career I might have when I graduate school. Thanks for taking the time to read my question. Love, Kira. That's a nice name, isn't it, Val?
It's beautiful. And Norristown, of course, is right up the street. I work with the police, as you know, up there.
Yeah, I've been arrested by the police up there, so I know where they're at.
Should have
I gotta
called
rinse
me,
them out of
So I'll say hi to all the police up there. Hi, guys. If you're watching tonight and I called,
I
and I
remember
hope
when
you
I come,
are.
just treat you nice. I know her.
Wearing your badge, okay? So anyway, I really feel, Kara, that the thing that the situation here that goes with you would be any medical field or anything that had to do with business, but not business of your own. Working for a business, and I thought beauty culture would be great for you. You could correct me on that by writing to me, of course, at my website, which is www.valeriemorrison.com. We have to show the things that I was wrong with to Irv, so whatever I'm right with, you got to show them too.
Well, we'll take our next comment from the chat room.
Okay.
It's Heather again.
Okay, hi, Heather.
Tell Valerie she was right on about my brother's fiance, Amber.
Aw.
We're praying for her son, and I'll be in to see you soon. Love you. Also, my mom is a long-time listener of Herb. And let me tell you, everybody's
Hey.
mom has been a long-time listener of mine. All the moms. Hi, moms.
Hi, moms. And Heather, tell your mom I love her. Give her a kiss for me, and you know that I'm praying for everyone. You know that.
All right, Valerie Morrison is our special guest, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're just joining us, Valerie will be making frequent appearances on the Irv Homer Show when her time schedule permits. Once again, you can contact her at her office at 215-483-8881. 215-483-8881 in Roxborough, Pennsylvania, on Green Lane in the Roxborough section of Philadelphia. As I said, you can get in touch with Valerie through her website at www.valeriemorrison.com. And let us go to this other email here, and let's see what it says here, Valerie. It says, my name is Sean D., also from Norristown, Pennsylvania, and my birthday is 11/17/90. I would like to know if I will attend college, and if so, which one, and what I may pursue as a career. Thank you, Sean.
Sean,
Will he attend
Sorry.
college? And do you have any idea which one? And what career do you think he should pursue, Val?
I will not give you a college to go to, and I'll tell you why. If you were to come to my office and say the same thing to me, or even about moving, I would say, give me the state you're thinking of, give me the college you're thinking of, and I'll tell you which one is the best one for you. My feelings would be it would be best if you went to a college that would be closer to home than away from home, and my feelings would be law enforcement for you. So I hope you're thinking about that. Funny we would bring that up.
Yeah. We're going to have to move that chat room up because we've already reached those. So we'll take another email, Valerie. What is Norristown? Your big thing here? Everybody's
A
from
lot of people
Norristown.
from Conshohocken and Norristown and Plymouth.
We'll get to that one. Let me put one here who is not from Norristown. And let us go to Elaine G. Glad to know you and Herb are together again, and so are we.
Yes,
I listen
we
to
are.
him every time he is on. My question is, am I going to advance financially and physically? It's been a rough lot of years for me. I will be listening, and it'll be good to hear you again. So the question is, Val, a little bit about the finances and will advance physically.
Physically, I see the body has broken down a little bit for you, and I think that all of your upsetments with any eczema or any kind of skin conditions has to do mainly with your stress situation. So you'll have to let me know that, because I have the best doctor in the world for you to go to if that's possible for you to do, which is close to you. And the other thing that I would say, that as far as the finances, they don't start picking up, honey, until after the election. But at least it's something. Don't go bankrupt, please.
Valerie, I have a question for a friend of mine, and I don't know how to phrase this,
Phrase it.
but a very successful businessman at the
Okay.
present time, and his problem is that he answers a lot of questions for his competitors.
Okay.
They come to him, and he answers them because he's that kind of guy. And as I said, he's a successful businessman. He does very well, and he's a brilliant guy. But he wants to get beyond that, taking questions from people that are his competitors and helping them. And I don't know whether he receives compensation for it or not, but he wants to move up in his business, expand his business, even though it's a successful business, it's a service industry, and is well qualified to do it. And he wants to know if eventually he's going to break through that ceiling, that he has reached the plateau, and he wants to break into this other area, expanding his business and his skills. It's more, not so much the business, but his skills. He feels that he's stuck in a thing here, but he wants to go beyond that with the skills he has. And instead of them calling him for help, he wants to be the guy that's out there doing the work himself.
He's usually good with his accounting. He's usually good with finances that come in around him. As far as his moving out, it's almost as though he has a glass wall up where he doesn't have enough. As much as he talks about it, he doesn't really do it. And he's got to really jump and do it. I feel that he'd be highly successful in that because he is so good with people. The thing of it is I do feel expansion around him. And it's funny because I see a lot of computers and I have no idea what that means. So maybe it's what he uses in some way. But I feel as though his success will come into the future and very quickly if he really starts to act on it. Sometimes people have to understand the answers I give mean help yourself a little bit. Get out there and do it. I feel yes, he should. Expand. Open the glass wall. Open the doors. Go do it. You know you can. It's the thing that you're afraid to do it. Don't be afraid. It will work.
What's interesting is he's not in the computer business, but he's certainly surrounded by computers.
Oh, okay.
So that was something I wanted to throw in there. Let us go to questions for Valerie Morrison, and we have a plethora of them. Boy, I learned that word, and I love to use it.
You do, don't you?
I don't have the faintest idea what it means, though. Anyway, hi, Valerie. I'm a big fan of your work and respect you greatly for your insight. Could you please tell me if I am with the right man? If so, is marriage in our future? And that's from Carol.
Carol, you know, the one thing that I want you to do is stop pursuing all the time. You know, the emails, the BlackBerry, is that what they call it, or whatever they call it, and all these things. I want you to stop pursuing so much. I want you to stop. When he sometimes writes to you, I don't want you to be so quick as to, and then write back. What I want you to do is give him a couple hours of space to wonder where you are. Also get to the shore or wherever you can go with some girlfriends without him by telling him you don't need a break from him, but you just need a break with your friends once in a while. You can't make this man the center of your life. My feelings are that as you do that and he sees you backing up a little bit, my feelings are you're going to make it. You know, and you two can become a couple. If you overwhelm him, forget it. Believe me, it's dead water. Been there, done that.
This is a very interesting one. Valerie Morrison is our special guest. Once again, we know we can't get to all the emails we have and all the phone calls that are backed up on our chat room. But if you want to talk with Valerie personally at our office in Roxborough, Pennsylvania, the number is 215-483-8881, 215-483-8881. My name is Irv Homer, and we're broadcasting from irvhomer.com, courtesy of RGH Computer Services for all your computer needs. Give them a call at 215-322-8685. They designed my website and many other websites that you see on your computer. This is interesting, Valerie. This is from Stacy. Hope all is well with you and your family. Things have been quiet on the home front. Only I had a visitor one night. Someone came into my room, stood next to the bed again, and when I looked, I saw a white shadow leaving the room. It looked like a small kiddish shadow. I guess it's a youngster shadow. It did not scare me, just made me wonder who it was. I'm not sure that I would ask for you to answer on the show, except for things will be getting better for us soon. Tell Frank we said hello and keep up the good work. Take care. Signed, Stacy.
That's
so
good.
What was that she
Well, we're
saw?
not going to have a last name. Stacy was the haunting I did.
Oh,
All right, I
okay.
will say that. And I was able to pick up a mean old man, and he once had a cherry orchard on the land she has her house on. And fortunately, Frank went out back, and there stood a cherry tree. So he hated kids, and so he was always bothering Stacy and the children and her husband. And to make that story short, Stacy, the white light you saw, I told you there was a woman named Ann that was a loner, and you said you had moved from somewhere where a woman named Ann had passed away who was a loner. She just wants to be around you and the family. She would never hurt you. I don't think she was pulling any covers off of you or doing anything more or less. She would cover you. The white shadow is Ann. You're safe, honey. Don't worry, okay? You're going to be just fine, as I said. Everything got more peaceful, and it will stay that way.
This is not directly a question for the individual, but I think it can tie in, Valerie, with what we're discussing.
Sure.
I'm very concerned about my son, who broke up with his fiancée after 2.5 years. We're worried about the fiance's little boy. Is he going to be okay without my son?
You know, the thing of it is, the little boy is not your son's child, is what I'm feeling. And will he be fine? Absolutely. It's more like your son is the one who is missing this child more than anyone else. And the main thing is just be gentle with your son and try to explain to him at some point when the child gets a little bit older, perhaps he can see him more, or perhaps she'll give in a little bit more. I doubt it. I'm sorry to say this. I think she's a nasty, nasty girl. And I feel that the thing that your son is crying about doesn't have so much to do with the girl as it does with the boy. And it's time to let go, a time for him to go on for his own life, and he will, I promise.
Once again, the lovely Valerie Morrison is my guest, who has been kissed by Bill Clinton. Now, wouldn't it be something if John McCain came to Philadelphia?
Well, I think he's got, yeah, come on.
Well,
He's got a gorgeous wife. I mean, come on.
Who?
I
John
mean,
McCain?
yeah.
Yeah, she's loaded too, isn't she?
Yeah, you better believe it.
I could kiss her.
Yes, she is very beautiful.
She'd probably throw up after.
She would not.
I wouldn't try.
I think the thing is,
Maybe
McCain
in a
is.
whip.
I think he's a really nice guy. I like McCain, always did. Once I had the vision dream that he would win the election and become president. Now, and I don't predict that right now, as I said, but anything can happen. But you know, come on, Obama coming up out of the columns under the clouds with the clouds all around him, as though he's God Almighty. Did you know that? That's what he did. He came
Is
up,
that what you see?
lifted up. No, he
Lifted from-
did. He did it on television.
Rising from the Phoenix.
He can't. Exactly my
Yeah.
words. Why do you keep reading my mind?
Because I go in that ear and I see what's cooking in there. Valerie Morrison's our guest once again. We do a little levity while Valerie's on the program to kind of break up
Yeah,
the
we have fun.
heaviness of the program. Valerie can be reached, of course, in Roxborough, 215-483-8881. This is interesting, Valerie.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Valerie. I am a Leo. How can you see someone or know someone who is talking to you without touching the living person? I don't tell anymore what I hear when I am touching someone, because it is sometimes unbelievable to me to have this gift, as you must have too. Do you think I can really do this?
Oh, come on. I know your name's not Mike. I'll tell you that right off the bat. I know you're using a different name. I know you're asking me that question. I know you're intuitive, and I know that you're not far. So my feelings would be that you know that you can do it. I know that I can do it. How we can explain it is only a gift from God. And I would think that in your work, remember, it's more important to remember that, you know, you can be knocked off the pedestal, and so can I, as fast as we're on it, if we don't have something stronger than ourselves to believe in. Yes, you can do it, and I can do it. We don't have to touch someone to do it.
And as you can see the popularity of Valerie Morrison, ladies and gentlemen, this is only a portion of the emails that we received, that Valerie's received when I announced that she would be on the Irv Homer Show, broadcasting from irvhomer.com. Let us go to this Valerie from Philadelphia. Dear Valerie, in the fall of 2003, I met a man who was finally different than all the rest, perhaps too different. However, knowing him has drastically changed the course of my life. In late May, I moved in with him as friends. We sleep together in the same bed at night. I am certain I am not dreaming that he has feelings for me, but he will not show them. So I guess that is my question. Will he ever reveal his true feeling so that we may become a couple? Signed, Cecilia from Philadelphia.
Cecilia, I love you
That's
very
pretty
much,
heavy
and
stuff.
I really, really feel for you. But you know what? Get out of the house, get out of the bed, get out of his life. I mean, this guy does not know what he wants, and if he wants a roommate, tell him to get a dog, a nice one. We have nice ones here.
Didn't Sinatra say that once to Sid Mark?
Yes, he did.
Well,
Oh, wait, you know.
You knew Sinatra
You know
personally,
Sinatra.
didn't
I
you?
know Sinatra
Yeah,
very well.
We know
How
Sid
many
Mark
times
very
do
well,
I
too.
know that I have breakfast with Sinatra? How many times did I tell him before Sid met him? I said, oh, come on, you got to sing for this guy. And I remember it was Sid Mark's birthday.
Yeah.
And we drove over there, and I said, you got to sing for him for me tonight. And he knew I traveled with the entourage and so on and so forth. And I went to Vegas, remember, and did all his
You
things for
frightened me.
him.
I went to Vegas. I thought you were going to say
No,
I went to
no,
bed
no.
with him.
I went to Vegas. He asked me to come, and I came because Laverne had appendicitis
Who was
attack.
Laverne?
Laverne was his big secretary.
Oh.
So I did all the stuff, and this is a cute story. I'll tell it real fast if I can do that. But But
is
anyway,
True story.
I'm working for Sinatra in Vegas, and I'm making all the bookings for all the free people that come. And one was Agnew. Well, I didn't know who Agnew was, so I'm downstairs gambling, and I was good at craps, by the way, everyone. And I win $6,000, and this guy's following me around, and they wouldn't give me my money. So I said, call Mr. S, Mr. Sinatra. I want my money. So I get my money because they know, of course, made the phone call. I think he paid it. And then I called my husband and said, hey, some guy keeps following me from table to table. His name's Agnew. He said, Valerie, he's only the ex-vice president of the United States. And I said, oh, my. So I went over to him and said, hi, Mr. Agnew. You're with Nixon, aren't you? And he left me. I was alone. So, yes, Frank Sinatra, God bless him. I miss him. And my daughter, thank God, had breakfast with he and Julie every morning with us.
And we have to say hello to Sid Mark, who is
Sid.
Who is a international legend now with his career, and had the pleasure of meeting his wife. I guess about 2 months ago, Shirley and I were having breakfast at Jaime's in Lower Merion, and Judy was sitting at the other table, and was gracious enough to come over, and we exchanged greetings, and I spoke to Sydney, but. The Sid Mark story is a movie.
It is. It really is. I have a new book, in fact, that I just got. Well, it's not a new book. It's a very old book, but it's yours, Sid. I understand I'm giving it to Sydney. It has a lot of things that I've never even read before. So someone gave me a very old book about Sinatra, and I want to give it to Sydney. And by the way, I have a Sinatra keychain that Frank gave to me. It's marked Love. Frank Sinatra, which is, unusual to have things like that. And he gave me his belt buckle, and of course you remember...
And his pants fell down.
Jack Daniels. No, remember?
Really? Yeah, Jack Daniels buckle, yeah.
He loved Jack Daniels, yeah. Listen, I met a lot of the stars, and one thing I can say, this. I raised my daughter and my son, and my husband knew that. We are not snobs. Stars are stars. I've met the best of them, and I thank God that Irv and I are not impressed because somebody is a star, because we don't feel we're stars at all. We just feel we're people that when we see on the street, it's
plain ordinary folk.
I love you. Right.
In fact, the way I'm dressed sometimes, I'm an absolute disgrace. Sartorial splendor is not me when I go out.
When I go out, you know what I do? And this is true. I go to my local ShopRite store and I shop in my my Superman pajamas. And it doesn't stop.
And you're what?
Yeah, well, you can't see through them. It's in the winter; they're a little bit fleecy.
What are you doing with Superman's pajamas? You should wear. You should wear the what's the name? That gal that had the $1 Million Lady or something. What was her name?
Oh, I don't know. But the thing of it,
Wonder Woman.
Oh,
where's your Wonder Woman jammies?
Well, they didn't have that. They either have that or little bunnies, so I bought them both.
Gotta take a look at your wardrobe, Valerie. That's all I can tell you. Let us go to this email, Valerie. It says, "Good afternoon, Valerie. A few years ago on Irv's show, you accurately picked up on a past situation involving my son's deceased friend. Now I would like to know if you see any employment or business ventures for me from Emma in Ringgoes, New Jersey."
Absolutely,
nice?
I do. I really do. I feel that there is a good business venture for you there, and you're just starting your career, and boy, is it going to take off really well. You know how I feel about your son and how much I love him. We'll love him whether he's here or there. I know where he is, and how much I love you, and always you're in my heart.
Valerie, this is a general question, not dealing, but I think it's something you may be able to address.
Okay.
What do you think has happened to the little 3-year-old girl from Florida?
That's very interesting.
They found blood from her in her mother's car. The mother's now out on a $500,000 bail paid for by that, what is the guy?
Yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah, Hunter. The mother's not helping the police. What do you think happened? Is she alive, Valerie? Is she dead? What the heck's going on there?
She's crossed over already, and the thing of it is that this was not a murder. Murder was an accidental death. Sometimes people could get angry enough, even family members, because I'm not going to accuse anyone at this point. I've been asked about this by the police. I have to be careful how I answer it. But I can tell you that sometimes someone will take a child and hit them hard enough because they're angry that they hit a wall and break their neck. and blood will come out of the nose and mouth, of course. So I'm just saying there is some foul play involved here. And the one thing that I was taught by the police, such as when I worked with the Susan case where the 3 boys were in the water, and I worked with the America's Most Wanted, when a woman can't look you in the eyes, she's usually guilty. And if you notice, she averts her eyes to the camera. And so I'm not accusing, I'm not allowed to accuse because of lawsuits and so on, but I can say I am working on the case, and I will tell you that I do feel that she knows more than she is saying. Let's put it that way.
I think on our chat room, Bob has got a question I think that he would like answered, Valerie.
Oh, I bet he would.
My name is Bob. Will I get the engineering job that I've interviewed for twice? Now think carefully about it. He's been interviewed twice for this job. Is Bob going to get it?
No, Bob, I'm sorry, that's not the one you're going to get, but I like the engineering for you. You're great at putting things together. You lead a different lifestyle than I'm used to, because I don't understand why you lead the lifestyle that you're leading, because you seem to be running away from your family with it, and I don't know why you should have to do that. But my feelings would be, try again, but try another county, and you will get an engineering job. You'll be happy and say, gee, I'm glad I did this. You're going to be okay, sweetheart.
And this is a comment from our chat room. Valerie, wanted you to know, I think you're the greatest. I love and I miss you. Love, Danny.
Oh, Danny, I've been seeing since he was 16 years old, and he's now in his 20s, and Danny could have been a model. He could have been anything. He's going to be taking some law enforcement. I am going to be helping him to get on one of the police. I'm going to help him to become a police officer. I've been wanting him to straighten his life out and do that, and he's finally ready to do it. I love the family. I met them through Danny. Danny was ready to go over the hills, and you don't know who he is. He was ready to commit suicide when I met him, when his parents brought him. Danny has grown up to be a very wonderful young man, and I've suggested the police academy for him. And state police is a little difficult, a lot of college, this, that. But I can get him on to somewhere else. So, Danny, I love you, and don't forget to contact me at the private line your mother has, and I will make the call to the chief of police where I promised.
And I want to take this one on the chat room board there, Valerie. Valerie, could you please help me with this? My mother-in-law and I don't get along, and I seem to be losing my health as a result. My name is Kath, and I'm a Taurus. Thank you. Now, that's a little domestic thing there for Catherine. See if you can help her out, Valerie.
Well, Kath, number one, you have to understand one thing. Because you don't get along with your mother-in-law is no reason for you to be so stressful with your health and have it go downhill the way it is, where you just don't feel as though you have any energy. The thing of it is that I feel that what's happening, it's not so much your mother-in-law, it's the fact that your husband is not helping you out because he's more or less sticking up for his mother. Now, the thing that you have to do is you have to have a nice talk with him and do whatever you can to make him happy, and try like crazy to make her happy. You know, it's not going to work. She's trying to make her son the father of the household. It's not going to work. So I don't want you worrying about that. I want you to start saying to yourself, I love you, I love her, to your husband, and keep throwing out that what I told you, pray, believe, ask and receive. She'll come around. Believe me, she will come around, but you have got to do a lot of heavy work and not talk about her with your husband. It will work.
We're going to take this one last email, Valerie, and it's a little different. Valerie, I am planning a vacation trip to Italy in October. Is this a good choice, or should I go somewhere else? Should I do something else? And this is from Boca Raton, Florida.
Brenda, I would say yes. It's very good for you to go to Italy, and especially if you can stay there more than just a couple of weeks. It'd be very advantageous for you scholastically and language-wise. I like the idea of that, and I would just spend my time in Italy and not run over to France or Spain in this trip, okay?
Well, Valerie, that's the fastest hour that I've done since, well, not really, but it's been the most interesting and the most exciting hour. Valerie Morrison, we're going to give you an opportunity now just to talk to the audience and whatever you want to say, feel free.
I just feel as though I'm sure somebody will give me an up here when I should shut up. I'm sure you will.
Not
But
me. I have till next Tuesday.
I just want to say thanks to my manager, Frank D'Angelo, for all the hard work he's done when he gets up at 5 in the morning and I don't have to get up till 10 to see everybody. So my office hours are usually 12 until 10 or 11 at night on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, unless I'm going away helping the troops and doing other things, as you suggested, with children. I love children. I would like to at some point soon again, I used to do all the colleges, if you remember, speak to all of you children out there watching today, teenagers, grown-ups who have children, to be able to have again, and I'm hoping to do this soon with Officer Ray, is to start doing the schools not only just for safety, but for the fact what drugs do and what I have had to do in my office to see people who have lost people that they've loved. I want you each to know that how much I love you. Charles, I love you. Happy anniversary. 45 years went very fast. I was a kid. You were the grown-up. Thanks for teaching me everything that you did. I really appreciate that. Mom, I know you're watching out there. I wish that you lived with me, but I know you chose to live with Ray, and I love you with all my heart. As for my son, the customs worker, keep up the good work. I hope your hand heals quickly from the stab wound you got in it. And just thanks to everyone out there, all of you I know and don't know. Those I don't know, I already know. When you come up to me in the supermarket or wherever you see me and say, "Hi, Valerie, I love you. Can I ask you a question?" You know that answer is always, ask me. It's free when I'm out, okay?
Valerie Morrison, thank you. I'm allowed to kiss Valerie on
Yeah.
television. Hey, we did that. Once
Love
again,
you, Irv.
love you too, honey. Let me once again remind you, broadcasting from theirvhomer.com. And my website is www.irvhomer.com. Email is evilerv@irvhomer.com. And thanks to RGH Computer Services for all your computer problems, your computer needs, your websites. Contact them at 215-322-8685. That's 215-322-8685. And for any advertisers that would be interested in responding, call them. Don't call me. 215-322-8685. Once again, Valerie Morrison can be reached on her telephone number in Roxborough, Pennsylvania, 215-483-8881, 215-483-8881. And you can check Valerie's website at www.valeriemorrison.com. Now, we will save all of these emails, Valerie, for the next time. And for those of you that are on the chat room, we do apologize for not being able to take all of your calls. It always happens with Valerie. In fact, one of the problems we always had in DB was they would be calling the program before us, a half an hour before Valerie came on and said, "Can I be on hold for half an hour?"
Hey,
and who was on before?
Now about that, not only that.
Used to get madder than hell.
Remember when the police couldn't get through in the ambulance, though, in the rescue? They had to change the numbers at DB?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, thank God. They said we couldn't save lives, Valerie. You're taking over the lives.
And then the Secret Service visited us.
Oh, do you remember the Secret Service?
Yeah, when you talk
they
about...
came in and took our tape.
About...
yes,
that's another program for another time. You must remember there's 25 years of stories between Valerie and I. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for the support of the Irv Homer Show. And to be continued. We will be doing a program on Labor Day on Monday. Meantime, have a safe weekend. Drive careful. And remember that Valerie loves everybody. Some of you, well, I love you all too. Have
a great holiday.